Hi, so I'm Darren Bainbridge, also known as DJ Doubt. This is about my life and career and restarting or relaunching my passion in music after a 25-year sabbatical doing a day job.
Okay, Darren, thanks for being here, sharing your story. I'm gonna ask you a few questions. The first one, I want to know about your first relationship with music, because I understand it was through instruments. And I want to know, how did learning drums at such a young age shape your emotional connection to sound?
So music was always big in my family. My dad was a pianist, a guitarist, was a bit of a rock star himself in the 60s before I was born. And it was something that was constant, always in my life. I did want to learn an instrument, and my dad always said, you need to learn an instrument so you can be part of what music is. And although he played piano, I chose drums. For me, it was about rhythm. There was something that attracted me to rhythm more than musicality. And I remember I got a pair of drumsticks for my 6th birthday, which I asked for. I didn't have any drums. I used to play on top of the washing machine. Sometimes I would play on my big beanbag with biscuit tins. And after 6 months of that, my dad finally gave in and bought me a set of drums. Ironically, the pub that he owned, there were always bands playing there. And by my 7th birthday, I had my first performance with one of the bands on a Saturday night, playing drums with them. And it was at that point that I knew that it was something I was never going to stop doing.
And you also have been DJing since you were really young, 14 years old, right? I want to know, how did that journey begin and what hooked you on music so early?
So DJing was kind of by accident to start with. I was working summers and Christmases when I wasn't at school at a country club down in Norfolk, and they had discos. It was 100 houses on this one site. So in the summer there were 600 to 800 people in this huge clubhouse, and they did discos. I was doing every other job on there, from emptying rubbish bins to working in kitchens. And one Wednesday, the DJ couldn't make it because he was sick, and they asked me to step in. And by the end of that night, I knew that it was something that I really enjoyed doing. And the fact that it was about being able to make people dance, and the crowd was so diverse. You had grandmas and babies, and it was, a chaotic kind of crowd. But to be able to entertain them all with just on your own was, quite something. And then, because it went so well, they asked me to do the Friday and Saturday nights.
And I understand that you also created live DJs, and it was something that was way ahead of its time. I want to ask you, what was the vision behind it, and why do you think it became such a powerful community?
So it's a totally different phase of my life. The DJing when I started at 14 was much more about old-fashioned DJing. It was a set of turntables that didn't have speed control. You would have a mic and you would introduce every song. You would say, and that was, and this is. It was very sort of that traditional wedding DJ style. And I saw an opportunity to play alongside another DJ, which nobody had really done before. A lot of us would hang out together and we would play what you call back-to-back. So you only have 2 turntables, and I put a song on and you put a song on, or maybe I do 2 and you do 2. It's quite a big thing now at a lot of parties, but back then it was unheard of. But I wanted to do it differently, so potentially we could be playing at the same time. So not with 1 turntable each, but with our own setup. And I thought about it for a while, and I set up 4 turntables with 2 mixers, and I invited a few of my friends around, and we set a video camera up, just because I wanted to kind of document it and see what it looked like on camera. We played for about 4 hours. The first thing we did when we finished was sit down, put the tape back on, and we were all just glued to it. Because when you're focused, people don't realize how much work it used to take to DJ. It's like keeping 2 plates spinning at the same time. and one plate naturally wants to spin faster than the other. So having that control, so you have the beats lined up, is actually an art form. It really was an art form. When there's two of you trying to do it together and still keep the same beat, it takes it to a completely different level. So when you're in that zone and you're mixing, you don't really get a chance to listen to what the overall sound is. You're so focused on what it is you're doing yourself. When you can sit back and watch it, it's like you're watching somebody else. And the minute we sat and watched it twice, so 8 hours of watching it back and remembering little bits that happened, I said, I have to try and get this online.
And I also understand that charity plays a big role in your life today. How do music and giving back connect for you?
So I'm not going to play for money. I'm not going to charge anybody to come see me play personally. I'll ask them to donate to charity. It's not about money for me. It's about the opportunity to play again and get people dancing. And there's two charities that have been really important in my life. One was Great Ormond Street Hospital, which is a hospital for children in London. My sister went there when she was very sick, when she was younger. And they did amazing things back then. They did everything they could. They couldn't save her, but we were in and out of there a lot. And I spent quite a lot of time going around the wards and seeing other kids. So it made a massive impact on me. I was only 6 years old myself, and she was 2 years younger than me. So I've always given. My dad always gave money to the charity, and I want to do it now. I have a goal in my head, how much I'd like to raise in as quick a time as possible. And the other one is Charity Water. And the story of Charity Water, it was a New York club promoter, made it very big, fell off the wagon, kind of was going to lose everything unless he straightened himself out. And he went and did some charity work himself on a boat, went to Africa, I think it was Africa first, realized that there were so few people that had water in that region and that there should be something, and he started Charity Water, and he has bought millions of people fresh water across the world. So his club background inspires me a little bit, because I have a lot of friends that fell off on the journey, you know. It's a tough scene, whether you're a promoter, DJ or clubber, to keep things balanced and to not fall too far one side or the other. And they're what I want to raise money for.
And if you could speak to your 14-year-old self again behind the decks for the first time, what would you tell him?
Oh, it's very different. I don't think I could give him any advice that would be relevant today, because everything has changed. But I would tell that 14-year-old to not worry about what people think. I think personally that has been something that it's a bit of a burden during your life. If you're always worried about what people think of you, it can hold you back. And it can stop you doing a lot of things that you should just go and try and do and fail. And then when you do fail, if you think that people are thinking negatively about you, it takes you far further down than you needed to go. So yeah, I'd tell him, don't worry about what people think of you. Just be you and get on with it.